Today we are breaking down the concept of comprehensive income. Welcome to Accounting How To. I'm your host Carolyn Grimm, and that's my sidekick Terrence, who sadly didn't buy a winning lottery ticket this week. We are here to put the fun in accounting fundamentals. Let's say the lottery prize in your state has grown to $1 gazillion. On your lunch break from your job, you go to the local convenience store and you purchase a ticket. Against incredible odds, your ticket is the winner. Woohoo! You're rich! You're rich! Well, okay, you're not really rich, but your winning ticket was worth $10,000. It's not enough to quit your day job, but it's still better than a stick in the eye. Now, speaking of your day job, the income you earn there is similar to the income and expenses and the net income from a business. So you have your gross pay minus your tax expense, minus health insurance expense, minus childcare expense, minus rent expense, minus groceries expense, and so forth, leaving you with a net income of about $1.95 in a good week. Now, if you were a business, that income and the expenses related to making that income would become your income statement. Revenue minus expenses equals net income or profit. But what about that $10,000 in lottery winnings? Shouldn't that go on your income statement? It's income. Well, the work that you do in your regular course of the day comes from your job. The lottery winnings have nothing to do with your job income. So in accounting terms, we treat different income differently. So income that doesn't come from regular operations of your business or your job is called comprehensive income. We claim it as income, but we keep it separate from the income that comes from the day-to-day operations of the business or your job. Now, you can't expect to consistently win $10,000 from the lottery every year to boost your income. It's a special event that's outside of the daily grind. But let's say you take that $10,000 and you put it into your retirement account. If you were keeping a personal balance sheet, and don't you? Doesn't everybody? You would do a journal entry to reduce your cash by $10,000 and increase your retirement investment asset by $10,000. So then let's say a month goes by and your investment has a gain of $50. Now, you're not selling that stock that you bought in your retirement investment asset. You're letting it sit there until you retire. So your balance sheet will continue to show a value of $10,000 because we record assets on the balance sheet at historical value or cost. But then, let's say you go to the bank to take out a loan. The bank wants to know what you have for assets. Your balance sheet says you've got a $10,000 investment, but the market says the value of your investment is $10,050. So that's what the bank is going to look at as the value of your asset. And then let's say another month goes by and now your $10,000 investment in your retirement account is only worth $9,950. Well, your balance sheet still says it's worth $10,000. But in the real world, your asset has lost value. Now watch as I magically bring this all back to comprehensive income. So comprehensive income represents any non-operating increase or decrease to your equity account. Let's think that through. So when we've talked about increases and decreases to owners' or shareholders' equity, we've said that owners' investments into the business increase equity, and owners' dividends or withdrawals from the business, decrease equity. And net income increases equity, and a net loss would decrease equity. Those increases and decreases to equity are all related to the core business operations. We're not talking about lottery winnings. We're talking about the day-to-day business operations. So your lottery winnings and the investment of those winnings and the gains and the losses coming from those winnings have nothing to do with your core operations, your job income and expenses. But those funds do impact your equity. So the income from the lottery win increased your personal equity. Had nothing to do with your job, but your personal equity did increase. The gains and the losses on your investment increased or decreased your personal equity. Again, nothing to do with your business or your day-to-day job. So the way that we track those outside of normal operations, increases and decreases to equity, is by tracking them separately as this thing called comprehensive income. We can then create a statement of comprehensive income that shows us two things. It shows us both our net income or loss from regular operations or your job, and the lottery winnings and the gains and the losses on your investment. So we add together those increases and decreases, the gains and the losses, and we arrive at net comprehensive income. It's made up of your regular income items and your special income items. Now, some businesses do a separate statement of comprehensive income, and others tack that information into a regular income statement, and they put it below the regular net income line. So you'll see net income, and then below that you'll see comprehensive income, where the increases and decreases overall in your non-operating net income are being added together and netted in that last line. And there you have it. Comprehensive income explained. Until next time, stay balanced, my friends.